Hey everybody, so today I'm here to share with you guys how to use your Ardo Alyssa breast pump. I did want to say first and foremost that this video is sponsored by Ardo. Thank you so much. It's been a really great time working with them. I gave an honest review of this pump that was not sponsored, so I will link that if you need it. But today I'm just going to show you how your pump works and how to assemble things and stuff like that. First things first, just going over the different things that you're going to get inside your box. You do have a few different paper things. So right here is a quick guide. This is one of my favorite quick guides that's ever been in a breast pump because it really does go over everything that you need to know to just get started. And then there is the pump set and accessories guide, and then the breast pump user manual. So I'm going to put these two aside and keep a hold of the quick guide because we'll come back to this in just a little bit. So I currently only have one thing out, but you do get a complete set. So this is what it comes like. And when you open it up, this is what you're going to be left with along with the pump. There is also a wall adapter and a cord to go with it as well. This is a rechargeable pump. You can also use it while it's charging. So whether it's already charged in the wall, whatever it might be, you're able to go ahead and use it either way. So I wanted to show that. And then as far as the parts go, there is also some bottle stands for you, along with the bottle itself, along with a lid. And then I am going to zoom you in here in a second for how to put together the pump parts. There's also tubing. The other one is in the bag that I just showed you. So it does come with a complete set as well, but we're just gonna have one out today to make it easier to show you guys how to assemble everything. But that's just kind of a look, an overview of everything that's gonna come and how to get started. So if you're just breaking yours out of the box, this is kind of what I would have: the starter guide, these parts, and I'm going to zoom you in right now and we'll put those parts together. All right, so here's a look at the pump parts, and to go ahead and put these together, I'm just going to start from the top all the way down to the bottom. So to start off, this is your connector piece. It does have the flange attached to it. This right here is a 26 millimeter. This is what comes inside the box. And there is also an additional flange, a 22 millimeter as well. I'll show you how to insert this in just a second. But to start off with the top, this is where your membrane is going to go. This is what's going to allow this pump to be a closed system. So this piece right here, this little disc, this clear one, you're going to go ahead and you're going to sit it down right there so it's nice and flush. And then you're going to take this lid and you're going to screw it on. Now, if you have an Ardo Calypso, you are able to use the parts from that with this pump, but not this lid. This part right here, this little clear part on top, this is actually new to the Alyssa. So you have to use this little green lid that is specific to the Alyssa, or else the suction on your pump might not work as efficiently as it should. So just make sure that you are using this one that has the little clear piece for your Alyssa, and then you go ahead and you're able to lock it on there so it's nice, not going anywhere. And then that is what it should look like up top. Now moving on to the flange, like I said, it does have this insert that you are able to put in it. So you go like this, and then you are going to take your hand and push and rotate clockwise until it no longer turns. It's going to feel like you can keep turning it, but eventually it does get there to where I am pushing just as hard and it no longer spins. It's not going to come out if I pull on it, and the way to get it out is just twisting the opposite direction. But if you need the insert, that's what it looks like. So then on the bottom here, you're just going to go ahead and take your duckbill valve and you're going to gently press that on there. Just make sure it's nice and flush against there, just like that. And then your bottle, you just go ahead and screw it on. And that is how you set up your pump parts. That's what it should look like. Obviously, if you don't need the insert, then you wouldn't do that part. But otherwise, that's how you put them together. And you would just do this a second time to get your second part. And then from there, you would just go ahead and use the pump. So if you were double pumping, you would want the other set of tubing, and you would actually attach it right down here. As you can see, there's a little cover, but you would just attach it right there. However, like I said, for the sake of it being simple and not a whole bunch of stuff everywhere, we are just going to go ahead with the single pumping for right now. Once your tubing is undone, this is a look at the pump itself. I'll go over the buttons and everything here in a moment, but I just wanted to show you the power port is right up here. So this is where you will charge it at with the wall adapter that I showed you. And then down here is your tubing port. So you're going to take that tubing that we just undid and you're going to go ahead and stick it down here. Now, like I said, we're single pumping, so this is how it's going to stay looking right now. However, if you wanted to double pump, you would just simply lift off this cover and take the additional tubing and slide that over that hole right there. However, if you're single pumping, like I'm showing you right now, you're just going to keep that covered up so you don't lose any suction from it. And then from there, the bottom of the tubing right here, you just go ahead and you put it on this little green piece right here on the back of your pump parts. Now this one, I like to get it started and then I like to do a little twisting motion. That's the easiest way that I've found to go ahead and put it on there, but that's what it should look like all together. And now you're just ready to get started pumping. So that's what I'm going to go over next. I'm going to show you the quick guide and go over all the different buttons and features that the pump has right here. So looking at it, I do have mine charged up, so I'm not going to plug mine in. But like I said, you can use it whether it's being charged or it's just ready to go as is. So you do have the power button right there. It's all touchscreen. You'll see that here in a minute. Over here is also the memory setting. So you are able to save entire pump sessions with whatever settings that you prefer. You're able to save that with this button, and then from then on, whenever you turn on the pump, you just hit that and it'll go to your preferred settings. This is a power pumping button over here. I'm going to get into more details here in a second when I explain how to use it, but basically it just automatically does the power pumping for you. It has its own little routine that it's going to take you through. If you don't know what power pumping is, it's where you empty with pumping and then you take intervals of braking and pumping every so often to replicate what cluster feeding is for nursing moms. It's a way to increase your milk supply. So it's really cool that this is built in. Traditionally, it's just something that you have to time and turn your pump on manually. But with Ardo and the Alyssa pump, they actually put it up here as a button. And like I said, I'll go over that more here in a second, but that's what it is. You'd also have your battery indicator right here as well. And then down here, you have vacuum increase and decrease, and then cycle increase and decrease. This down here is going to switch you between stimulation and expression mode. There is a 2-minute timer, meaning once you're in stimulation mode, you have 2 minutes, and then it will kick you over into expression mode. You can hit it again if you need it. You can stay in expression mode, whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you. But I did want to mention that that's how you switch between the modes. There's also an app available. You're just going to do it just like you sync most things anymore, but it's a QR code on the back of the pump here. You scan that, you get it all hooked up, and you are able to manually control it from there. Pretty self-explanatory with the app. I feel like most of us can understand those pretty easily now anymore. But yes, I just wanted to mention that it is also a smart pump. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn it on and go over some of the features. And this is where I want to bring in the quick guide because it really is one of the best comprehensive ones I've found. It actually talks about important stuff about cleaning and assembling and what things mean, going over single pumping and double pumping along with stimulation and expression mode. And it also shows you how to sync to the Ardo app. And then on this page, it goes over the couple of things that might take a little bit longer to understand. And I really like the way that they have it set up because it's pretty easy to understand. So there's the memory setting and then the power pumping as well. And that's just a look at the quick guide itself, but it's very useful. So if you have it, please look at it. All right, so to go ahead and turn this pump on, all you have to do is touch the power button right there. It's going to light up. It's not as blurry as what it's coming up right now, but as you can see, I'm pretty low on battery. I'm getting there, so I'm going to have to charge it soon. And over here, you can see the different indicators of the different settings. So if you increase it, those are going to go up. If you decrease it, they will go down. Same with the other side as well. They both work very similarly. And then this right here, the orange is letting you know that it's in stimulation mode. And then once you tap it, you are able to go into expression mode, which is green. So orange is stimulation, green is expression. And like I said, you can just hit this button and it'll switch you between the two. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn it off just for the sake of explaining the memory setting, and then also the power pumping setting. So with the memory setting, what you're going to do is you're going to turn the pump on and have a completely normal session, exactly the way you like it, adjusting how it is, whatever it may be, whatever your ideal pumping session looks like. And then once you're finished, you're going to go ahead and you're going to hit this button right here. After you hit that button, you can go ahead and turn the pump off. So then the next time that you go ahead and you turn the pump on, you just hit this button, and then it'll start your cue for you. Basically, it's going to remember all your settings and it's just going to go ahead and start that for you. It is literally as easy as that. So just pumping one regular session exactly how you like it, hitting this button, and then turning the pump off. Next session, when you turn it back on and hit this button, it'll play everything exactly how you like it. So with the power pumping feature, it's really just as easy. So whenever you turn the pump on, you will then hit this button over here to start the power pumping. I will say that the full cycle takes an hour, so just be aware of that. Obviously, you can stop at any time you want to, but the full cycle does last an hour. It's going to express you for 20 minutes, and then it's going to rest for 10 minutes, and then express you for 10 minutes, and then rest for 10 minutes, and then express you for 10 minutes, and then it'll be finished. And then while it is doing this, it's going to light up as it's progressing. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it back on and then hit that button so that you could see what I'm talking about. But as you can see, it's not a complete circle right there. It'll continue to light up as it progresses through this whole thing. Obviously, I can't speed this up and show you. I'd be sitting here for an hour, but as it progresses, it does continue to light up. And that's basically the gist of it. That is everything on this pump. Like I said, there is the app as well where you control it too, but it really is straightforward. It's really simple. As far as finding what works for you, what I would recommend and what I recommend anytime with any pump is turning the pump on and putting the vacuum the lowest it will go in the cycle as high as it will go. So that would look something like this, making sure that the vacuum is all the way down and the cycle is all the way up. And then as you are trying to find things that you like, decrease the cycle by 1 and increase the vacuum by 1. Just slowly increasing and decreasing both of these until you can find something. So that is what I would recommend. Now, if you find that you can't find something in expression that has a high enough frequency, you are able to keep hitting the button back into stimulation mode. There is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. It might be a little tedious on your part to keep hitting this button to put you back into stimulation mode, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with it if that's what you respond best to. But that's what I would recommend, because a lot of times people don't know where to start and you're looking for something that expresses milk but it's not painful. Pumping should never be painful. If it is, there is something wrong. It's either a setting that's too high, it could be a wrong fitting flange, it could be multiple different things. It should never be painful. Now, pumping will be uncomfortable, especially if you're newly postpartum or new to pumping. It will be uncomfy until you're able to adjust and find those right settings, but that should progressively get better as you continue to pump to where it subsides and it's not uncomfortable, it's not unpainful. However, if that continues or it gets worse or you have cracked or bleeding nipples, that is a sign that something is not right. And I would always start with your settings and then your phalange size and walk through those really common things that are really easy to overlook. They do play a big role in making sure that you're comfortable. I will say, as far as using this pump myself, I do not really like the 22 millimeter inserts. While I have found the correct way to put these in now, and I don't feel like you lose any suction necessarily, I just like the feeling better of my Bogen nipple cushions. I don't have any here to show you, but I will put a link to them down below. And I actually use this pump. This is how you unscrew it, by the way, too. And I go ahead and I use the 26 millimeter and I put my nipple cushion inside here. And that's how I prefer to pump with the Alyssa, even though I do fit inside the 22. My personal preference, you might like the 22 insert just fine. I would try this since it does come with the pump first. Make sure you don't have to buy something unnecessarily. But that is a look at how to use your Alyssa breast pump all in all. It's pretty straightforward. It's really easy with the extra features like the memory and the power pumping. They made it pretty simple. Everything else is just increasing and decreasing vacuum and cycle rates, which is pretty standard on most pumps. If you guys have any other questions at all, leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. If you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful at all, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.